want that washer to be able to spin around. If it's not spinning, it's too tight, it's not going to do what it's supposed to. It's got to be free moving. And you also want to make sure that it fits in that hole without catching. Okay?
Okay.
So now I'll push this in here. And you can see it's setting on top of the transducer. And then I will put the spring in. Then you can put your disc in.
Doesn't matter which way, either way, right?
Doesn't matter, either way. Some people switch them around. They'll mark it and they'll switch it around and put it the other way to wear it on the other side, you know?
Okay.
So it doesn't matter. If the nose needs adjustment, you're going to have to adjust it anyway.
Right.
And you usually do that when it's on the machine.
Okay, and the back end, you just tie that, put that bolt right on the bottom there. Just tighten that up.
Yep. Pop them right in here at the ends. I got the one in snug so it wouldn't lose the spring. Okay. Now I do those. And then I got them snug, do them a quarter turn. They have lock washers and flat washers on them. I better show you real quick so that you know. On these here, you want the washer, lock washer, on first, and then the flat washer. A flat washer has a flat side and it has a rounded smooth side. I always put the rounded smooth side up to go inside. Okay? That way I'm not really mashing the end of
Right.
those rods, because I don't want the rods to stick on the inside. Quarter turn. Now I can set my nose switch. This is how I set my nose switch. It's in tight now. Okay. There they are. Okay.
You just cut off a piece of cardboard.
The best thing to use is a wire tag. You got a manila wire tag, you cut off a little piece of the manila wire tag to do what I'm going to do here to set the nose switch. But what I do is you want this on here like this. So, stretch that out, wires through it, bring it down here, put it on here. Now that I've got it all the way home, pushed in, I'll take this
Little piece of cardboard, right?
and I put this in between that and the home switch. Now, I keep it kind of flush this way.
Mm-hmm.
Hold it up there nice and tight, and I'll tighten this up.
So you're trying to just set a little gap there,
Just a touch, yeah, because I don't want it to smash it
right?
when it goes back and forth.
Like a
Yeah.
1/16 of an inch, or?
Well, it's got a working area of 30 thousandths for those home switches.
Okay,
And I got the home switches flush in there, okay,
right,
with with the block that it's in. So I don't want this to mash into it, so I put this in just to give it that cushion because it's within the 30 thousandths. Seems to work really good with
Okay.
manila wire tag. And that's it. That's all set there. Then I'll take this piece with I got my socket head cap screw in there. Notice I have a lock washer and a flat washer M3. Okay, now what I'll do is I'll take this and I'll hold it at an angle and I'll clip the wire spring, clip it on there, just like that. See how it's clipped on?
mm-hmm,
Now, before I do that, I'm going to push that inside. I'm going to feed these down into my pocket. Okay. Now, once I get that in, got these here all and in here. That down. And I'm gonna line this up with that hole.
and that's gonna hold that wire in place.
That's it. And I'm gonna tighten that down. Got it flush, quarter turn. That's in there nice and tight. That's all set. Everything's there. Now that I got that, so it's not in my way, I'm going to press this down, put this cap on here, and tighten these screws down. Because I'm done all the way up to this point there. I don't have to go back in there. And I can tighten these up. Had my finger
Yeah.
over that. The vacuum kept me from pulling it. You can,
Feel the pressure, yeah.
yep. Okay, so now that's all sitting right there. Now what I want to do is, I'm going to set my fittings up. Okay, and I do this fitting right here, and I tighten it up. Once it's tight, I want that flat.
Okay.
You can see it right there. See how it's flat?
Yep.
Okay? They added these fittings for this plant that it's going to, so that they could have a cable going over the top and a cable going underneath, and then the other one. And
Oh,
it's
okay.
the flow of the cables and the hoses.
Right.
Other plants are set up different. Each plant has their thing. And then I'll put this one on. And I like to get these fittings out of the way like right now anyway, because this here is when it should be done. Now I got that, and I can tighten that. And once I get these, now I'm set. Now I can do the encoder. Okay, and with the encoder, I take my screw set up here off. Everything's there. I take the wires and I pull them off this way. I set my encoder in here. You can see the spring set up here on the encoder. 3 screws holding that in there. Everything's movable. But you notice that it extends beyond 90 degrees.
Right.
Okay? That's what you want, because you want it to press down and ride on that shaft. And I move the wires out of the way, and I line up my pin right here.
It looks like it just sort of sat right in there.
Yeah. It did. You can see where that pin goes right into this hole right here to line it up. Once you get that, I've got my lock washer and my flat washer. That's threaded. Okay? It's threaded so that it pulls the encoder tight up against the wall and lifts it up and so that it's riding on the shaft. Now watch as I tighten it.
Oh, moves it right into position.
See it?
Yeah.
See the encoder? That's what you want to do. You want this tight. But